three ingredients. I'm sure that Professor Jayashree knows the three layers of the subtle body.
I know that we have studied it, but I don't remember it. I know there is the subtle body is the no, I don't know it. Sorry. I
Okay.
have to
I
say I
just
don't know
to
it.
Priyanka, we can start from the 23rd slide today. So yeah. So we say manas, buddhi, and ahankara. So manas means mind. That is actually the center of our emotions and emotional thoughts, desires, even negative emotions like fear and attachment, which is not negative, definitely. And so all the emotional level of our existence is centered in the mind. And there is intelligence, which is the rational side of us, the rational side of the subtle body, where we can differentiate between good and bad, and we can do it according our knowledge and value system. And we can also remember that according our spiritual knowledge, we can lead our lives. Now we are very happy because you can get the darshan of Srila Shivanam Swami Maharaj, who just arrives from his lunch. I will offer my respectful obeisances to His Holiness. So we are in the Budapest temple now, and tomorrow we will have our Ratha Yatra festival. And Maharaj is here. He just finished his lunch in the garden under the beautiful trees, and now he's going back to his ashram. And I'm sure he's very excited for the tomorrow's festival. Yes. So subtle body is mind, intelligence, and false ego. And then we also analyzed the false ego, which is nothing else than our self-identification, who we think, who we are, and what are the roles that we are playing in this world. And this is the ahankara. I am the doer. I am making myself. I have a temporary self. But as devotees and spiritual practitioners, of course, we always want to include or remind ourselves about our real spiritual self. And in the last time, we spoke about these three levels of understanding about the absolute truth, because we agreed that if we want to practice meditation for a spiritual reason, then the object of our focus should be the absolute truth or the divine or God. And we also said that according to different spiritual traditions, one can approach the supreme, which is actually free of all dualities, in different ways or different levels. And first we spoke about Brahman, which is the impersonal feature of the absolute truth. And then we spoke about Paramatma, which is the localized inner guide of the Supreme, who is residing in everyone's heart. And we also spoke about Bhagavan, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the personal form or manifestation of the divine. And we said that although these are non-different because we are speaking about the same, but still there are different levels, hierarchies in terms of the level of understanding and approach. And we say Brahmiti, Paramatmiti, Bhagavaniti, Shabdate. So Brahman, realization or understanding, is the first level to understand that God is everywhere, God is everything, we are in God. But the next level is when we understand that God is also inside us and we can turn to him as a well-wisher and as a guide. And the third level is when we approach him as a divine person whom we want to have a personal relationship through bhakti, which is love and devotion. And this is how we actually concluded our discussion the last week. And this is where we will continue from. But first of all, I would like to ask if you have any comments or questions about this, because 1 week passed and maybe you had some, and maybe it's better not to move forward before asking asking for questions. Although in the end we also will have. Okay, so if there is no, then I will stop. Priyanka has. Now you are muted, Priyanka. So if you have a question, then you can ask. Unmute yourself. You don't have? No, you don't have. Okay. So, okay. So
can you see the slide?
Yeah, I see. Everyone sees. Integrating the mind into meditation.
Okay, I can't see. I'll just change it. Okay, no problem.
Do you see? For example, Professor Jashi, do you see the slide, integrating the mind into meditation?
Yes, we see.
Gallery.
Okay.
Oh,
I can see the
that you
slide.
are
Yes,
also
I
here.
can see it.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So, so after understanding the different parts of the subtle body, we can agree that to focus the whole consciousness, which is the mixture of all of these parts, intelligence, false ego, and mind, we have to find a way how to, here it's written integrating, but if I'm honest with you, in my case, it's how to convince the different parts of the subtle body to focus on the object of meditation. We did this little exercise or experiment at the first session that we just tried to focus our consciousness on the mantra, and then all of you found that although it's very uplifting, but still our consciousness is flickering, and sometimes our mind wanders somewhere else to find some other engagement. Other times our intelligence finds something more fun than the mantra, and sometimes our false ego can be an obstacle, and then we try to absorb this. You remember we had this, oh, my mind is desiring to thinking about what's for dinner, and our intelligence maybe doesn't understand why do I have to do this meditation. And sometimes our false ego says, oh, I'm not even a Hare Krishna, I'm something else, so why shall I do this? But we didn't speak about the solutions for this, because next time we just spoke about what should be the focus, means focusing on the Supreme, and from Bhakti perspective, to focus on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. But now this last session of this series will be about some practical guidance, how to which could help us to focus on the mantra and to engage our different voices. We spoke about these voices, the voice of the mind, the voice of the intelligent, the voice of the false ego, to be able to, when they say their things, when they try to distract us, what to say back to them, how to inspire actually ourselves to focus, but on different levels. So the first is integrating the mind into the meditation. And as we know, Krishna and Arjuna are speaking about meditation in the 6th chapter of the Gita. The topic, of course, comes back in different chapters. And then when Krishna describes this dhyana yoga, this yoga of meditation, to Arjuna, then Arjuna becomes very discouraged. And he says, Chanchala hi manas Krishna. or Mana Krishnas. So that, oh Krishna, no Krishna, Manas Krishna. So my dear Krishna, this Manas, this mind, is like Chanchala, is very flickering. You know, of course, the goddess of fortune is called also Chanchala, of course, the wife of Lord Vishnu or Lord Narayan. And she's Chanchala because in this material world, fortune sometimes comes and sometimes goes, never stays anywhere. But we also know that Lakshmi Devi, who is the person of fortune, fortune personified, then she always resides at the chest of Lord Vishnu in the form of She Vatsa. Because Lord Vishnu is the original shelter of the goddess of fortune. So Lord Vishnu is always fortunate. Sometimes we are fortunate, sometimes we are less fortunate, but we have to remember that the Supreme Lord is always Bhagavan. He's always full of fortune. But our mind is also chanchala because it never goes, it never stays in one place, or it's very difficult to convince to stay in one place. So Arjuna says, chanchala hi manas Krishna. It's very difficult to fix the mind on something. But Krishna says, but yes, but with the power of renunciation and the power of practice, regular practice, someone can be successful in this. So there is, so I just mentioned this, but because it's even such an elevated soul, then Arjuna finds challenging to focus on one thing. Then what can we say? So it's very natural that we have this difficulty. And why is it? Because, you know, the mind is the center of all of our desires, and we have lots of desires. And for example, if we have other desires than just meditate on the Supreme, then of course the mind will go away and will find some other engagement. And that's very, very natural. And there are spiritual traditions that suggest that because the mind is full of desires and because this distracts us from meditation and from being fixed in the transcendence, therefore we have to get rid of the desires. We have to get rid of all vishaya vinivartante. And for example, Buddhism is such a spiritual tradition, and also Vaishnava, like Advaita Vedanta that we mentioned in a very extended way last time, like Shankara's followers. So in the tradition of Shankara, of Advaita Vadis, Mayavadis, they don't have an option to be like a family person, to be a grihasta. So real Advaitants are always sannyasis. You know, Shankaracharya took sannyas in the age of 8, and all of his real followers, traditionally, they were all celibate monks. They gave up all attachments and they just moved into the monastery, or they were wandering monks, but they gave up all material attachments. And of course, later on, when Advaita school's teachings were spread around India, then of course there were practitioners who were also family people. But you know, the real success, according to Shankara's teaching, can be only achieved if someone gives up all material attachments and only like focuses on Brahman. So Vaishnav tradition is very different, although we also have, of course, sannyasis like Shivarama Swami and other elevated souls. But in Vaishnavism, to maintain some desires are not considered as an obstacle. And actually, if it comes to Vaishnavism, then cultivating desires is also very favorable. Because as we learned from Vaishnava Vedanta, then the soul can be never without desires. The nature, the integral nature of the Jivatma, of the Satchit Ananda, eternal soul, is that he or she actually has desires. But originally, in our original transcendental position, all our desires are completely selfless, and our desires are focusing on the Supreme. So originally, the spirit soul desires nothing else than to just make Krishna happy, to make the Supreme Lord happy. And it's very much matching because the Supreme Lord also doesn't have any other desire to make all of his servants and part and partials happy. So therefore, in the transcendence, in the spiritual realm, the spiritual world, there is complete harmony. Why? Because Krishna wants to make happy Nityo Nityanam Chaitanas Chaitananam Vidadati Kaman. The Supreme Lord wants to fulfill all the desires of his servants, and all of Krishna's servants in the spiritual world, in Vaikuntha or Krishna Loka, they don't have any other desire just to serve the Lord. And therefore, everyone's wish is fulfilled. The devotees are serving Krishna. Krishna accepts the servants, the service of the devotees, and reciprocates with so much blessings and so much opportunity for more service. And then it's very dynamic. But what is the problem in the material world is that we have selfish desires. So we have kama isha krodha isha rajaguna samudbhava. Krishna says to Arjuna that the reason for all suffering in the world is the selfish desire. And I don't want to pollute this nice discussion with sad topics, but of course all of us know what happens in the world now, and sadly that happens quite close to you in the Middle East. So why is this? Why is this war happens in different parts of the world? Because of selfish desires. Because one party considers themselves as to have right to fulfill their selfish desires, and the other party also, and they don't have the same desire to just serve the Lord. They say sometimes that, oh, we do it in the name of God, and they use different names. One of them says we are doing it in the name of Adonai, and the other one says we are doing the name of Allah, which actually refers to the same Supreme. But actually, none of them are doing that. Because if you would ask God what he wants, and if you would read the scriptures, what God wants to do, then it's nothing else than just love each other. This is his main requirement. Also, he also gives instructions how to worship him, but the main worship of God is to just see him in everyone's heart and just serve our fellow living entities, humans, animals, even plants, Mother Earth. This is how someone can make God happy. But what is for certain is that how you not able to make God happy is to harm his other creatures, because Krishna loves all living entities equally. He doesn't have any discrimination that he likes the Hungarians over the, I don't know, Germans, or he loves Indian bodied people over, I don't know, Africans, or Israeli people more than Iranians. No, God is for everyone. And if we see the whole thing from a transcendental perspective and reincarnation perspective, then maybe those fellows who are fighting on the side of Iran, maybe they were Jewish people in their previous life, and maybe those Jewish people who are fighting, they were Iranians, or they will be. Prabhupada even said that if there is someone who is very racist and, oh, I hate these kind of people, that there is a good chance that in his next life or her next life, he will take birth as the person whom he hated, because he focused so much on them. So this is without any spiritual, religious understanding. This is just karma. This is just selfish desire. I want to be the enjoyer. And Prahlad Maharaj, our hero in Srimad Bhagavatam, this 5 years old boy, when we just read about his conversations with my wife the other day, and when his father Hiranyakashipu, who is the representative of demons, he says, you became the servant of our enemy, referring to Vishnu, because he became a devotee of Krishna and Vishnu. And then Prahlad Maharaj says, yes, my dear father, I know that in the mind of the foolish people, there are these two categories, friends and enemies. But as far as I see, in this world, there are no friends and enemies. There are only friends. But there is one enemy in this world. And I spoke to myself, I asked you, what do you think? What Prahlad Maharaj said, that there is only one enemy in this world? What did he say? It's very actual to this conversation and even to this slide. So what did Prahlad Maharaj said to his demoniac father? What is the only enemy, or who is the only enemy in this world? Please, I'm very curious.
Prabhu, the mind?
He was a little bit more lenient. He said the uncontrolled mind. Because the controlled mind, so I don't know, Her Grace Hemangi Mataji's mind is not an enemy anymore, because she has very favorable desires. She learned how to control her mind, and whatever her mind suggests, that's a good suggestion. I know her, so I can say this. So in this way, the mind can be a friend. Krishna says, if you defeat your mind, then he becomes your best friend. But if you can't control him, then he becomes your greatest enemy. So Prahlad Maharaj says, in this world there are only friends, but there is one enemy, which is the uncontrolled mind. And he says to his father, you are fighting against the so-called enemies, but you are living together with your best enemy, with your worst enemy, which is your mind, and you try to, defeat enemies who are actually your friends. And this happens in the world. So these people, they can't control their mind. Their mind is so much polluted with the selfish desires, and therefore they can't meditate. And therefore they meditate, but then they meditate in bad things. But back to the topic, integrating the mind into meditation, that means not to diminish, not to destroy the desires, but to purify them. To purify your desires, to find those desires in our hearts which are for the good, which are for service, which are for love, which are for just do something good to the people around us, to the world around us, to desire to learn more about the Supreme Lord, to understand better our spiritual nature, to purify our consciousness. These are all desires, but these are good desires. And I just gave a funny story, a funny example about this. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Once he was in America, and devotees brought a newspaper article to him about an Indian yogi who lives in complete renunciation and who rejects every worldly treasures. And there was a picture illustrating this. There were people who brought a big amount of money to this yogi to offer as a donation. And the yogi was, on the picture, the yogi was turning his face away and give this gesture of rejection. So he rejected this money because he's a yogi. He doesn't want anything worldly. And Prabhupada saw the picture. He started to laugh. And then he said, if I would be on the picture, I would be like this, embracing all that money. And someone could say, okay, so then he's a bhogi yogi. He has material desires. How is it? But of course, Prabhupada explained that because I'm a devotee of Krishna, and I know that actually all the treasures of the world belongs to Krishna. So as we know from Ishopanishad, then Ishavasyamidam sarvam, the Lord owns everything because the Lord created everything. Everything is the Lord. So everything belongs to the Lord. So then all the money of the world actually is the rightfully it belongs to Krishna. But Prabhupada, as a pure devotee of Krishna, he wants to use that money in the service of the Lord. So if you see the career or the life story of Srila Prabhupada, he started from India with 40 rupees, and he was basically almost a homeless. And then, after some years, when he became successful, he had millions of dollars because, he had a very successful religious organization. But between the two, Prabhupada didn't change anything. So when Prabhupada was a beggar, he lived like a beggar. And when Prabhupada had lots of resources, he still lived like a beggar. So Prabhupada was still eating these small steamed vegetables with moong dal soup and rice every day. He still wore the same robes, and he still woke up, at midnight wherever he was in the world. So, and he just translated, gave class, traveled, organized, preached. He served. He didn't enjoy anything from what he had. He didn't use a coin in his selfish desires, but whatever he had, he served Krishna with. Why? Because Prabhupada was full of desires, but those desires were or pure desires, and all of his desires were just for service. So when Prabhupada said, I would be like this, I would take all the money, was because he wanted to serve Krishna better. He wanted to serve more money in Krishna's service. In other conversation, Prabhupada said, I can spend all the money of the world in Krishna's service. I know the science, I know the art, how to spend all the world's money in the service of Krishna. And if only Prabhupada would have all the money of the world, because whatever money he had, he made the world a better place. Building temples, printing books, funding eco-farm communities, funding schools, distributing Krishna Prasadam, and so on and so on. So in the same way, the mind is full of desires, that's good. We don't say to annihilate those. We just say purify. So this is the suggestion of Bhakti Yoga. Okay, but how is it referred to meditation? Or how is it how is it helpful? It's helpful because when we find ourselves in a situation when we try to focus our mind on the Maha Mantra, then we have to engage our desires or direct our desires towards the Maha Mantra, towards Krishna. And then we cultivate this positive hankering desire. Even Rupa Goswami says, laulyam, one have to be like very greedy or very thirsty for spiritual advancement. But this is a desire. This is a good desire. So when you sit down next time, and we will do a little bit of experiment before we conclude today, then we have to cultivate positive desires. And this is one suggestion here that Prabhupada gives. Dear Lord, please engage me in your devotional service. So this is a desire, or this is an expression of desire that is favorable for the mantra chanting. So Srila Prabhupada said, when someone chants Hare Krishna, then can pray to the Lord with this. Please, Lord, please Hare, please Krishna, please Rama, engaging me in your service. This is an expression of a desire. I desire to be your servant. I wish to do some service for you. Therefore, I beg to you to please engage me. And this is something that helps the meditation. Remembering Krishna is our best friend. I spoke about this last time when I spoke about Paramatma, that Krishna is in everyone's heart and he is coming life after life after life. He comes with us throughout this samsara because he loves us so much. He's our best friend who never leaves us. Even if we try to neglect or reject him, he still loves us unconditionally. So this is also an emotional link to the Mahamantra. So the mind wants to have some emotions during the chanting, and we can help the mind to give these good kind of emotions. We can remember that Krishna is our best friend. He loves us so much, and we can taste this emotion during our chanting. Oh, dear Krishna, please engage me in your service. You are my best friend. Thank you for being my best friend. Please, I want to be with you. This is also like a positive emotion that can help the meditation. There is also, so this is a feeling of gratitude. You are my best friend. I'm so grateful for your friendship. And I think I said to you this last time, if someone is not grateful, then he's a great fool. So gratitude is such an important feeling. It's a positive feeling. So if someone sits down to chant Hare Krishna, it's a very good way to focus, to place ourselves consciously in a grateful mindset or a grateful way of feeling. So, and the next one is a quotation from Rupa Goswami. Please attract the bee of my mind to the nectar of your lotus feet. This sounds very nicely in Sanskrit. So if you allow me, I will just sing this one line. Manmanasamadhukaram arpaya nijapada pankajamakarande Krishna deva bhavantam vande. So this line is written by Rupa Goswami. Manmanasa, so he addresses the mind. He says to Krishna, please, my dear Krishna, Manmanasa, my mind is like a madhukaram, is like a bumblebee. What does a bumblebee do? Always searching for nectar. So my nectar seeking mind may get a shelter, may be attracted at your lotus feet, because the lotus flower is full of nectar. So Krishna's lotus feet is full of nectar. May my mind become like a bumblebee to be attracted to your lotus feet. This is also a very beautiful desire, a very beautiful emotional link to the holy name. Sometimes they also say that there are two kinds of mind. One mindset, the conditioned mind, is like a fly. Flies are always searching for disgusting, stinky things. And then for a fly, a beautiful like garden full of fragrant flowers is nothing else than a place where he can find some poop, some dirty, stinky things. He doesn't see the flowers. He sees only, okay, maybe I find a dead bug or I find some rotten, I don't know, remnants or something. This is what the fly is searching for. But for a bumblebee, a beautiful garden is just full of desirable nectar objects, and he even didn't see. So if we have a mind like a bumblebee, then we will never see the bad, stinky, disgusting things in the world. We are conscious about them, but we don't care so much about them. But we find the nectar in life. We find the beautiful things in people and in ourselves also. So, Manmanasa, please, Krishna, make my mind like a bumblebee who is attracted to your lotus feet. And there is another which is an even higher level. It's from Yamunacharya, and also like middle age. He lived in the 14th century, Yamunacharya, if I'm right, 13th, 14th century in India. And he writes that, "O Lord, I wish I could be attracted to you as naturally as a young boy and a young girl are naturally attracted to each other." So he says that it's very natural for boys and girls to be attracted to each other. You don't have to force yourself to be attracted to your beloved one. But it's the same with the Lord. So originally we are the loving servants of the Lord. So the soul is naturally attracted to the Lord. But now, because of our consciousness is covered, we are more attracted to the Lord's external potency, Maya. We are not attracted to Krishna, we are attracted to Maya, the material sense objects. But this prayer of Yamunacharya says that, please, my Lord, I would like to be as naturally attracted to you as material people are naturally attracted to the opposite sex. So this is also a nice meditation, although it's very elevated. And then Krishna is personally present in the form of the holy name. So Abhinatma Nama Namino, Krishna, in the Vedas it's written that the Nama, the name of the Lord, and the Namino, the Lord who is named by the name, is non-different from each other. So it is also said that Kali Kali Nama Rupa Krishna Avatara. So Krishna descends to this material world in the form of his holy name. And especially in this age of Kali, he's the most important avatar of Krishna, the Nama Sankirtan. So Krishna is eternally residing in the spiritual world, but he also eternally resides in his holy name, because in Krishna there is no duality. So my name is Mohan Das, but I am not the name Mohan Das. I just wear this name. I was given this name. But Krishna, so there is a difference. There is a duality between me and my name. But in the case of Krishna, Krishna is Advayam. In him there is non-duality. So his name and himself is ontologically identical. It's non-different. So when you say Krishna, then that's Krishna. So completely Krishna. And this is also something that inspires our mind and our emotions to be attracted to the holy name. Oh, I have the opportunity to personally spend some time with the Supreme Lord, wherever I want. And I think some of you, I told this, that when I was a seeker of spirituality, this was my question. Sometimes I feel my connection with the Lord very directly, very intensely. Other times I lose that connection and I don't know how to make this connection regular, how to establish this connection. And when I started, by the suggestion of the devotees, I started to chant the Hare Krishna regularly. This was the tipping point of my life. This was the greatest change in my life, that now I got a know-how, a process, how can I instantly connect to the Supreme? How can I channel this relationship, channel to him with this chanting? So this is something very inspiring. If I just chant this mantra, I am completely directly in the personal presence of the Supreme Lord, and I can taste this interaction with him. I am chanting, but actually he's appearing on my tongue. This is another, Rupa Goswami says in the Namashtakam, then actually the Lord is personally dancing on my tongue. So as Krishna danced on the head of Kaliya in his pastimes, during his pastime, Kaliya Damana Lila, the same Krishna is dancing on our tongue when we chant the holy name. And this is something that also emotionally inspiring. So we spoke about some ideas, or I try to give some suggestions that could inspire us to integrate our mind into the meditation. It's not that I'm chanting and the mind is wandering somewhere. How to bring the mind here? Oh, my dear mind, come and don't give up your desires, but connect your desires or direct your desires to the service of the Lord, to beg for some service from the Lord, to remember that Krishna is your best friend, to ask the Lord, to pray to the Lord, please attract my bumblebee-like mind to your nectarian lotus feet, and please let me be in your divine presence. Okay, so this much about integrating. And of course, if someone regularly chants, then everyone will have their own inspirations. You will find inspirational thoughts and feelings that can help you. I just shared some that comes from Shastra and comes from very elevated devotees, but you will find your own tools. Okay, so we can go to the next slide, which is integrating the intelligence, the buddhi, into meditation. Acceptance and refusal. This is like yama niyama. This is what the intelligence does, but in this manner, I meant in a way that to be able to meditate well, to be able to focus, you have to anukulyasya sankalpa, accept circumstances that are favorable for the meditation and reject circumstances that are not helpful. For example, if someone would try to meditate in a, I don't know, a techno party, that would be very challenging. Or I don't know, I don't give other examples, but so you have to find a favorable circumstance. Usually it's suggested, it's the best if someone can wake up early in the morning, and before the waves of the day start, before the different activities someone begins, just dedicate some quality time for the meditation. If someone can take aside or dedicate 10 minutes, that 10 minutes should be very peaceful. You have to find a peaceful place in your home. You have to sit down there and just do nothing else. And don't let anything disturb you. Don't take your phone with you. Don't take your newspapers. I don't know if they are existing still. And don't do anything. Don't let anything disturbing you. Just go to a silent place and do your meditation. That's your me time, and that's your Krishna time. Being rested, we spoke about this. No one can be a yogi if he sleeps too little or too much. And yeah, and the other thing is that sometimes our intelligence can say that actually I don't have time for this meditation because I have so many things to do. Or your mind says, okay, we are doing meditation, it's very good, but let me think about planning my day during I'm chanting. Or let me plan what to cook for lunch. Or let me plan, I don't know, something else. But in this case, this is the intelligence, because the intelligence is try to rationalize, try to think, try to make plans. That's its function. But in this case, you can say to your intelligence that everything is more easily done in good consciousness, armed with God's grace. This is a direct quotation from Srila Shiva Ramaswamy. Once I brought a very successful business person for darshan to Maharaj. It was in his garden in Krishna Valley, and this person already started to chant, but sometimes he chanted, sometimes he didn't, and Maharaj knew this, and he asked, okay, do you chant regularly? And then this person said, Swamiji, I try, but I have so many things to do, and business and family, and there are so many things, so sometimes I don't have time for chanting. And the Maharaj said this word-to-word sentence: everything is more easily done in good consciousness, armed with God's grace. And it's so meaningful, because someone would think, I don't have time for that because I have to do this. But with this argument of Maharaj, you can understand that if you invest this quality time for the meditation, then you will be in better consciousness. If you pay this time to Krishna, if you give this time to Krishna, then Krishna will give his blessings to you, and that you will be able to do your duties and your things much better. Without meditation, you are in a lower consciousness, and you are without the grace of God. Maharaj said in the same conversation, if you don't do this, then you can only rely on your own capabilities and your own karma. So whatever you are given, also by Krishna, but by your karma, you will be attain that much success. But if you ask for Krishna's blessings, if you pay attention to Krishna's holy name, then your consciousness comes to a better condition. You get Krishna's special mercy, and then you will be obviously more successful than without these. So when your intelligence gives this argument, you don't have time for this because you have to plan, you have to think on this or that, you can just say, no, it's just the opposite. Because I have so many responsibilities, because I have so many challenges in this day, or in I don't know, during this week or something, therefore I have to pay attention, therefore I have to invest this quality time for my meditation. And this is a good argument. Your intelligence will accept, because he's buddhi, so it will be favorable. And also remembering the meaning of the mantra is also helpful. Of course, the Maha Mantra is composed by three names: Hare, Krishna, and Rama. These are all the names of the Supreme Lord. Hare refers to Krishna's internal potency or female aspect. Radha, or Shrimati Radharani, who is the Sarva Lakshmi. She's the origin of the goddesses of fortune. And Krishna and Rama refers to the male form of the Lord. So Mother God and Father God, Mr. and Mrs. God. So you ask, Hare, O dear Mother of the universe, O dear Shrimati Radharani, please engage me in your service. And please, my dear Lord Krishna, please, my dear Lord Ram, please engage me in your service. So this is like remembering the meaning of the mantra. The meaning of the mantra is, I'm addressing the Supreme Lord. Of course, Krishna means all attractive, Rama means who gives pleasure, Hare means the Lord who appears in female form, like the female potency of the Lord. And then in this way we can remind ourselves, whom are we addressing? Not just mechanically repeating some words, but we are addressing persons, Radha, Krishna. So these are some suggestions how to integrate the intelligence into the meditation. Remembering positive things, rejecting things that would be which would make the meditation difficult, and also remember that it's a good time investment rationally, and remember the meaning of the mantra. And we can go to the third slide, which is integrating the false ego, ahankara, into the meditation. So we spoke about this false ego, which is a very deep topic, but basically, as we agreed, we have different roles, temporary self-identifications in this world, which we have to have, because we are, I don't know, fathers or mothers and friends and relatives and leaders of companies or employees, or we are member of a nation and a member of a community, and these are all rules. They are all like positions in this world that we have, and we have to play them nicely. But when it comes to meditation, then it's warmly suggested to take these roles aside. When you sit down and chant Krishna's name, then for that 10 minutes or half an hour or 2 hours, please try not to be a mother and a father and a boss and nothing. You just try to be a soul. Satchit Ananda, as our very wise Tia said to Shivaram Swami, I am a soul. So then you be a soul. You remember Tia's advice. I am a soul. I am an eternal servant of Krishna. And now I am this. I am just a servant of Krishna. I beg to the Lord to get some service. I just try to focus my consciousness on my beloved master. I just try to enjoy this association with him because this is what I am. I'm 40 years old Hungarian husband, but 100 years ago I was something very different from that, and from 100 years from now I will be something very different. So this is temporary, but I have been Krishna's eternal servant since time immemorial. Now I am Krishna's eternal servant, and I will be Krishna's eternal servant until ever, forever. So this is what I really am. And when I'm chanting, I try to put myself into this real ego. This is not ahankara. This is like real self. This is who I am really, and loving servant of the Lord. And then I try to stick to this self-identification. And also maintaining a humble mood. So it's also like, begging for service. I try to be a servant. Lord Chaitanya, incarnation of Krishna, gave this motto, Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Saishnunai. Let us be as tolerant as a tree and as humble as a blade of grass. And then we can always kirtaniya sada hari, and we can always happily chant the holy name of Krishna. So these were some practical suggestions. I think the next slide also gives something nice. I think that's the... Can we go? I think this is also nice. Srila Prabhupada was asked once by someone that, where does all this chanting or singing lead to? And Prabhupada gave the example, gave the answer, this chanting leads to more chanting. So that's the goal. That's the means, and that's the goal also. So we want to achieve with the chanting something which is the chanting itself. So I'm chanting to be able to chant more purely, chant with more love, chant with more devotion. But actually it's not like that. Now I'm chanting and then I will reach something, then I won't chant anymore. In our Vaishnava tradition, it's not like this. So for example, in Advaita school, now we are chanting Soham Soham, and then I become one with Brahman and I won't chant anymore. I will be Soham, but I won't continue. So the process that they are following is not the goal. It's different from the goal. But in our bhakti tradition, our process is practicing devotional service, which is the best. Which amongst all the different processes, the best is the chanting. But when we reach the perfection, when we reach our goal, then our devotional service is just continuing as it was. So it's even said that for a devotee, jivo va marova. So it's the same. I'm living or I'm dying. I am in this material world or I'm in Krishna's eternal abode. Basically the activity is the same. In the material world, I'm serving Krishna. In the spiritual world, I will serve Krishna. Whatever happens, I'm just serving Krishna. So there won't be any difference between the process and the means and the goal. So this is what we try to achieve. And I think I conclude my talk with this. And before we go to the next one, we just go back to the, yeah. I would like to ask for questions. And then we will do an experiment, but first questions. Questions or comments or something that I didn't explain well. So, Himangi Devidas, he has a question. Himangi Mataji has a question.
Are you asking me to ask you a question? I don't have a question.
You raised your hand, I think.
I did?
Maybe not. Oh no, actually, sorry,
Someone...
it was my mouse. Okay. So I hope that you have some questions. Or I don't know if it was so understandable that there are no questions, or you agreed everything that I said. So my goal with this part of the session or the presentation is to give some inspirational thoughts. How can we focus our consciousness on the mantra? And therefore, I gave some ideas for the mind, for the intelligence, and for the false ego, how to make the peace treaty and how to focus on the mantra. And if you don't have questions, I prepared with an experiment that we can do together, similar to the first one, but it will be a little bit different also. But I hope that you will have some questions also. But if you don't have, then it's okay. Okay, so maybe after the experiment you will have. So then we can go to the next slide. So on the first occasion, we did this practice in a way that I asked you to chant the Hare Krishna mantra, the same rhythm that I'm chanting. And I asked you to focus your mind, your consciousness on it. And if it deviates, your mind wanders somewhere away, then you try to bring it back consciously. And also to try to absorb or try to check that which part of your subtle body, which part of your consciousness tries to deviate from the focusing. Does your mind say something? Does your intelligence or false ego try to take your attention away? And then after that, some of you said, yes, I remembered something, so that's maybe intelligence. And then I had some thoughts or this and that. And then we were able to understand. So what I would like to suggest now is that we start this experiment with the same method, that you try to, we just repeat the Hare Krishna mantra. I will start and we repeat it together. You can mute yourself and we are repeating. We try to focus our consciousness on the mantra. And until I give the sign, until I say its end, whatever happens, whatever comes to your mind, you always just try to bring back your attention to the mantra. And maybe you can also try to use these kind of tools or these kind of suggestions that I gave to you. So if you feel that your attention goes away on an emotional level, some of your desires or your mind tries to take away your attention, then you can remind yourself to those suggestions that we spoke about. Please, my dear Lord, engage me in your service. I remember that Krishna is my best friend. I desire of his company. and so on. If your intelligence is on the way, then you try to remind yourself, yeah, actually, if I want to be in better consciousness, then I have to choose consciously to focus on this mantra. And if your false ego tries to, oh, well, I don't have to do anything with this, I'm not even a Hare Krishna or something else, then you remind yourself, yeah, I'm not in, I don't want to be in a box as a Hare Krishna, but what I am definitely is I'm a part and parcel of the Supreme, and therefore I have all reasons to focus on His holy name. So something like this, and the experiment will continue, and whatever happens, you just focus on the mantra. Don't let anything take away your attention, and then we will continue it, I think, for 10 minutes, because I think 10 minutes is the time that is not too much to focus for beginners, but it's also enough to face with the challenges and to little bit wrestle with the mind and with the consciousness to focus. And it's also, it will be enough to have an experience of this whole process. Are you into this experiment? Do you like the idea?
Yes. It's a good idea. Let's do it.
Yes, let's do it. And yes, and after that, I would be happy to listen to your experiences again, and maybe your comments and questions as well. Okay, so I even would suggest to close your eyes for the next 10 minutes. And then you can also mute yourself, but don't mute me because I try to lead this meditation. And then we can start. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Chant with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. All of you just continue to chant the mantra in the same rhythm yourself, in your own rhythm. So even if I'm not chanting, you please just repeat the mantra in your own rhythm. Don't let anything distract you. Just repeat it nicely, not too loud, not too silent. Articulate all of the words nicely. And if your consciousness deviates from the mantra, just try to bring it back. I won't chant with you because you are chanting now in your own rhythm. This is your time with Krishna. Try to feel this very calming effect of the sound vibration. This sound vibration doesn't belong to this material world. It comes from a transcendental realm. You still repeat the mantra, don't stop. Hare Krishna and Rama, very sweet names of the Lord. Try to feel how this purifies your consciousness, elevates it. When your consciousness, by its chanchala nature, deviates, then just bring back. Please try to remember that Krishna is there with you in the form of this transcendental sound vibration. If you pay attention now, bring your attention on your tongue, meanwhile you are repeating the mantra, then you can feel the touch of Krishna's lotus feet on your tongue. You can also feel the sweetness of Krishna's holy name. You can direct your desires for asking for service. Please Hare, please Krishna, please Rama, engage me in your loving service. I'm a servant otherwise, let me be your servant. Krishna, your name is Krishna, you are so attractive. May my mind be attracted to you as naturally as a bumblebee is attracted to the nectar of a lotus flower. Now I'm just your eternal servant. I'm nothing else. I just try to be a loving servant of yours. Please give me this happiness of your service. because you are Rama, you are named as Rama, you are the source of all happiness. You love me so much, you are always with me, whatever I do. Please let me awaken my sleeping love to you. Let me wake up from this dreaming of illusion. When you chant, you can feel that your sound of the mantra comes very deep from your heart. It doesn't take birth, this sound doesn't take birth in your throat, it comes much deeper, comes from your heart. Hare Krishna Ram. Prabhupada also says that this chanting is like the genuine cry of a child for his mother's presence. We are like children of Krishna, but we are far away from him, not physically, but in our consciousness. So with this mantra, Hare Krishna Rama, we are crying, please Krishna, please appear in our tongue, appear in our mind, in our consciousness. You know, when a child is crying, the mother immediately comes. If you cry for Krishna, he comes, he's there with you. You can feel in your heart his loving embrace, his very pacifying, cooling presence. If your tongue wants, you can also speed up a little bit your chanting. Sometimes I feel that I'm chanting and it's so sweet that I want to chant more faster to taste more. I can chant a little bit faster. Everyone is in own rhythm. You just taste this nectarian, spiritual, refreshing name of the Lord. Just try to hear the holy name. Just say it with your mouth and hear it with your ears. Try to merge your consciousness into this hearing. Please continue to chant 3 more Mahamantras, and then I will start to sing the Mahamantra with an easy melody. Please first you just listen, and then you can shift your repeating to singing with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Hare Krishna. So this is the end of the mantra experiment. I hope you don't consider my words as that I just try to distract you. Now I'm really ask you to come back from this meditation session. If everyone is back, then I would like to ask if someone would be ready to share some thoughts, experiences. Did it work?
I think so. It worked for me. It was really good. I always have difficulty chanting the mantra because I have my, I don't know if I should say it, I have my own mantra from given to me by my guru,
Mm-hmm.
and I find that easier. But today it was really nice to chant the Maha Mantra. It was really nice. I enjoyed it. I think maybe we should do it in our own group when we finish our Bhagavad Gita class. Maybe I'll ask Lavina if she doesn't mind doing it 5 minutes at the end of every class. You know, you call her Himangi Devi, but yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Lavina. I know. I knew her when she was helping us.
Yeah, it was good. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much for. I'm sure she would be very happy to for this. And personally, for me, it's like such a success experience that I just try to share a few thoughts, and then this was the result that you feel inspiration to do it regularly in a group. May I ask you, Rohit, to stop sharing the slideshow, and then I can maybe see all the other beautiful souls. Thank you.
Mohandas Prabhu, before you leave, can you show us the temple? Because I see you're sitting in the temple.
Yes, yes, yes. I will be very happy to show. Just
Okay.
let me ask for other comments or questions, and then yes, I also wanted to give darshan.
Please give us the darshan.
Yes, I will. I hope there will be some other comments and questions.
Prabhu, can I give some comments?
Yes, please.
In the beginning, mind was flickering for about few minutes, but then whatever usually I do, I try to focus on the lotus feet of Lord Damodar. So the middle part was more focused, and
Hmm.
towards the end, I was again flickering or trying to wake myself up.
Thank you. Yes, so in normal circumstances, there won't be a Mohan Das who is saying different things. This was just a practice that usually in our meditation retreats, the participants find very, how to say, useful to, that I try to give some directions, but of course, everyone has to do it for him or herself. But this was just a experience or an experiment that it was a half guided meditation. Yes, but thank you. Yeah, you have to guide your own meditation during your own practice. Somehow my friend Gaurav is very silent today. Maybe he's engaged in other activities, but I'm missing his comments and good questions and his activity. But
Maybe he's not there today.
he was here. He was here. Tina was there, and usually she said Gaurav is also. Maybe they had to quit earlier. And Himangi Mataji, do you have any comments or corrections or anything that you want to share? In the end of the day, I'm just a guest here. You are the real guru.
Haribol, Prabhu, thank you so much. You said you know me well, but I beg to differ because all the things you're saying about me, I don't know who you're talking about. Um,
As
the
the other members, they will know.
Yes, we agree. She does do it very well. I don't know how you do it, Lavina. It's very difficult, because even at the end of the meditation, I was thinking, oh, I have to go and cook, I have to do for my family. So you have your things to do. So it's not easy to concentrate.
Prabhu, a few things, I guess, for me, which was wonderful through the session was, uh, the way you integrated, yeah, that part of integrating the mind into the meditation, because I think it was a very nice way of presenting it. um, a lot of us have been brought up with the misconception that meditation means devoid of any activity. It means hollowness, it means emptiness, it means focusing on sometimes rather clearing out the mind. So to when it was brought to the forefront in the way you brought it, that of course the mind is always active, and hence to integrate it into our meditation by keeping Krishna in the center, it at least we are not going opposed to the nature of the mind, and then we are fulfilling our meditation by making it perfect, because once Krishna is in the scene, it becomes perfect. And for me personally, yes, I do feel that the journey, the process, the goal, the objective, it's all the same, which is to chant, chant, and chant. It's neither of this is ever going to get over, because in essence, this is what life is meant to be. So, yes, these are my realizations, and I thank you for crystallizing so many thoughts and the process so nicely. Thank you, Haribol.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much, Himangi Mataji. And of course, whatever useful I said during these sessions, it's thanks to my Guru Maharaj, Srila Shivaram Sai Maharaj, and of course, Srila Prabhupada and all his disciples and devotees. And whatever I said in a wrong way, including the technical issues that sometimes I had or we had, then it's all my fault. So I take responsibility for those. And last time I went too long, so I thought today I won't make it too long for you. It's already 1.5 hours. So if you don't have other questions and comments, then I would just show the temple as
Yes.
you asked. I didn't forget that, of course. So you can come to a parikrama. For that time, I ask you to mute again. and we will go to see the temple. Then we can go. So this is where I sat. It's like a small office where usually Srila Shivam Sai Maharaj has conversations with guests. Here is my beloved fiancée, Braja Mohini. She's sending her love to you. And this is what we call the Gopal Mall, Gopal Hall. Here is Gopal himself. So in this temple, Gopal is not worshipped as a deity. He's here with us, of course, he's the Lord, but there is no food offering, flower offerings, so he's not considered as an installed deity, but he's blessing everyone with his divine presence. And then here you can see a little shop, some smiley, happy devotees, and this is a restaurant, Govinda restaurant, and we continue our journey. You can see all the beautiful pictures of the Dasha avatars on the corridor. There is a conference room. We won't go there because it's a conference room. And oh yeah, and here, I don't know if you see, but I go towards the window. This is something that could be interesting. Here is the Bhaktivedanta College. I will take you to the garden. And this is that building is the Bhaktivedanta College. I don't know if you see behind the trees. And this is where we teach Bhakti science in a very high level. And maybe our Professor Jayashree will also fulfill her desire to be a professor of Bhakti also. So, and this is the temple corridor. In the garden, the temple garden, we have beautiful garden, and we produce like vegetables and flowers for the deities. But now we won't go there, but we are going to see the temple room. So you come with me, and then you can respectful obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Founder Acharya of ISKCON. And you can come with me, and then you can take darshan of Shishi Dayanitai Vijay Gauranga. I hope you see them well.
We see them. Yes, very nice.
Yes. Okay. So on your right, he is Lord Chaitanya, Lord Gauranga, who is the incarnation of Krishna who descended 500 years ago in Bengal. Is the Yuga Avatara. And next to him is Lord Nityananda, who is the incarnation of Balaram. Like Krishna and Balaram came in this age of Kali as Chaitanya and Nityananda, Gaura and Nitai. And in our temple, they are called as Doya Nitai, means very merciful Lord Nityananda, and Vijay Gauranga, the always glorious Lord Chaitanya, because Lord Chaitanya is always glorious to spread his Sankirtan movement. And as you see, this beautiful altar is made of onyx, and in the back side of the altar, we always change the backdrop, and because tomorrow is our Rath Yatra, Budapest Rath Yatra, therefore Lord Jagannath's Rath Yatra is painted on the picture, and these are always changed every day. They get a new backdrop. They have, I don't know, 50 of them. And now you can also have the darshan of Lord Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra Devi. Jai Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Devi ki Jai. So during the year, Lord Jagannath and his siblings are not visible in our temple. Only during the Rath Yatra, they are coming to be with us and to bless the Budapest residents, Budapest Vasis. So tomorrow we will have this beautiful chariot festival. I would like to also thank to those Dubaian devotees who kindly even supported this festival with their generous donations. So thank you so much. And so Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra and Sudarshan Dev, they will sit on their chariot tomorrow at 1 p.m. and they will go through whole Budapest and with a beautiful procedure, and they will bless the whole city. And then in the park, Central Park of Budapest, we will have an all-day celebration, stage programs, prasadam, 4 swamis, 5 swamis will be there, and it will be very beautiful. And you can also see some pictures. This is an oil painting painted by a Hungarian painter, Mataji Taralakshi, and this is the original painting. So this was made by her for this temple. This is also Lord Chaitanya, and his associates are taking part in the Ratha Yatra. And this is another original oil painting which shows Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Mahaprakash Leela, when Lord Chaitanya shows his divinity to his devotees. You can see also the demigods are there to worship him. Indra and Brahma and Lord Shiva comes to offer flower petals. You see them there. And the third picture, you can see the Jagai Madai Leela, when Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda delivered these demons, ex-demons. Jagai and Madai, they were like mafia people, they were very like sinful people. And Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda gave very special mercy to them and made them devotees. And of course, in our Budapest temple, we have other activities. Beside the temple worship, we have like around 40 brahmacharinis who are doing full-time service, including our beloved Daksh now. He's here, very enthusiastic devotee. He distributes like so many books, and he loves it so much because of his very good upbringing. And we have other like devotees, and we have Food for Life, of course, Feeding the Poor program. We distribute like 1 million plates of Krishna Prasad per year, and we have also some children, a little bit nursery, like come regularly and do devotees. This is mainly the thing. So you saw, and here will be our wedding in 3 weeks. So please give your blessings. And yeah, I also wanted to express this, that after these 3 seminars, I would like to ask you to give me a little bit of summer break. I will give you a summer break, but you please also give me a summer break, because next week there will be our civilian wedding, and 2 weeks later there will be our Vedic wedding, and then there will be our Turkish wedding, and then we go to honeymoon, and then we go to Germany to see Brajamohini's Guru Maharaj, Krishna Kshetra Swami. So, and then there will be Jamashtami, and there will be Radhashtami. So we will communicate when to meet again.
Okay.
I think latest September, but let's see. Okay. But I think before Jamashtami, it would be nice to meet a little bit. Like
Yes, I think so. Jamnastami would be nice to meet.
Okay, we speak before. Okay, Krishna willing, inshallah, we can meet. Inshallah.
Yes.
We meet
You can
before.
say Insha Ganesh also. You can say
Sorry?
Insha Ganesh. That was what we say, Insha Ganesh.
But inshallah, it means if God will, God willing. But Ganesh is not God. Ganesh is the servant of God. So I think it wouldn't be a good. I learned this from the Qatar devotees. Inshallah, Lala is the name of Krishna.
Yes, yes.
I think inshallah is more accurate theologically than Ganesh. Ganesh is not Allah, but Lala is Allah.
Yeah.
Allah.
Yes,
okay.
correct.
And may salam alaikum, may Allah give us peace and give you peace in the Middle East.
Thank you.
Dona nobis pacem. Shanti, shanti, shanti.
Shanti, shanti. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
So Hare Krishna, all of you. Thank you for your patience and
Hare
kind
Krishna.
attendance.
Big Hare Krishna to Mohan Prabhu.
Praise to Srila Prabhupada. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna ji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mili Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Mili Mataji. Awesome.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Krishna.
Bless,
Hare
bless.
Krishna.
Thank you for your participation.
Thanks.